What's up, Cyber Dragon fans, and welcome back to the channel. Today, what I have for you is a Cyber Dragon deck profile. That's right, 1 and 2. The main deck, the extra deck, side deck is always up in the air. It's always up to your personal preferences. I'm not going to go through the side deck this time around, but super interesting thing about this deck, it's a 45 card deck. Usually I don't go anything past 43, but the fact that this deck does have a lot of milling, searching, or special summoning from deck, or even equipping from deck, I feel completely comfortable with the fact that one card can swing out 5 cards straight from the deck. So with that being said, I felt comfortable enough to go up to 45, and the deck is surprisingly consistent. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. Right now, what I have is 2 Cyber Dragons. Ooh, threw that one off a little too far. 2 Cyber Dragons, OG Cyber Dragons, basically really the Cyber Dragon deck. You can't have a Cyber Dragon deck without OG Cyber Dragon. Some people play it at 1, some people play it at 3. I play Machine Dupe. 3 is too clunky and too bricky. 2 is just fine. You need at least 2 to be able to maximize on Machine Dupe. 3 Cyber Dragon Core. Your Cyber Spell and Trap Searcher could also search out Cyber's Spell and Trap because it has Cyber in the name. Not that any of those cards are of any use in this deck, but just a fun fact for you. Also has a great grave effect to special summon any Cyber Dragon monster from your deck by banishing him in the grave. 3 hurts. You search out OG Cyber Dragon, or you can recover any Cyber Dragon monster that's in the grave. 2 Naster. I think 2 is perfectly fine. It's just one of those cards that you either search out or special summon straight from the deck. Very rare that you're going to want to see this card in your hand as soon as possible, which is why you don't realistically run it at 3. But something totally new for me is 1 Cyber Dragon Veer. It's not that I never liked the card. The card just never has really done so much for me. But there was some interesting combos that I did find with it, and I thought, maybe this could actually be useful. But only run 1. It's also one of those cards that you don't want to see in your hand very often either. And then the 2 more Cyber Dragons. Basically, your Galaxy Soldier searches itself out. I only run 2 just because it makes perfect sense. It only searches once, so it searches the other one out. The third one essentially becomes a dead card. And it's less bricky that way. And this is a card that you also search with Cyber Network. 2 of each, I should say, ABCs. This is still a Cyber Dragon ABC deck, so I still run 2 of each of those guys. And then something kind of interesting. 3 Scrap Recycler. It helps me facilitate link 4 plays. It also helps me facilitate extenders, as well as getting more, either ABC or Cyber Dragon pieces from deck to grave. And then 1 Shaddoll Beast, which is the extra workaround with when it comes to there can only be 1. I only run 2 Cybernetic Overflow. I know it's super weird. People usually go into spells and then traps, just because there's not that many traps to go through. But I had it next on my pile, so we're going to talk about the traps right now. 2 Cybernetic Overflow. I am playing a 45 card build, so I want to increase the chances of at least seeing Cybernetic Overflow if I am not needing to search it. So that's it for monsters and traps. Onto the spells. 4 Union Hangers, 1 Terraforming, 3 Union Hangers, pretty self-explanatory. The most insane card in the book, 3 Unauthorized Reactivation. For those of you who do not know what Unauthorized Reactivation does, basically target 1 machine monster you control, equip 1 appropriate Machine Union monster from your hand or deck that to that monster, but the Union monster that is equipped cannot be special summoned this turn. You can only activate 1, it's a hard once per turn. Basically, the way that I've always seen it, it's a more efficient way of facilitating ABC plays, but this is also a great call by the grave practice. And the reason being is because if I have Core in hand and also have this card in hand, if I normal summon Core, and if they tried to per se Ash Blossom it, I can chain Unauthorized Reactivation, equip A to Core, making Core unaffected by monster effects. Same goes for spell effects. If they try to pop it, or widow anchor is actually a pretty good example. If they try to widow anchor my core, same goes for the practice. Chain this card on top of it, equip B to core, and now core is unaffected by spell effects as well. So super awesome, amazing card. Facilitates ABC plays and protects, which is absolutely the most insane thing. This card also also helps me pull out some materials from the deck that only allows me to further plays as well. So it's also a great combo extender. This card does so much. This card is super tilting and it's great. I love it. 3 machine dupe, self-explanatory. 2 cyber emergencies. I finally got my hands on a second one. Would run a third if I had a third. I'll find the room for it. Not that it's like mission impossible. 2 repair plans with ABC Dragon Buster going to 1, as well as needing to facilitate Galaxy Soldier plays or any other light machine plays that I may need. This card is super prevalent and necessary to kind of help keep the ABC boss monster in play, as well as facilitating rank plays or link plays. 2 transmodify. Sole purpose of this card is to facilitate rank 5 plays. Shaddoll Fusion, which is the 1 card I'm a pull 5 from the deck combo, which is super extremely funny and amazing and awesome. I love it. 1 Cyberload Fusion. I was never a fan of running so many cyberloads, but running so many fusion base cards, just because they are dead cards in the first turn. But this is technically a going second deck. Nonetheless, though, still super great to win games and OTK the opponent when you get the opportunity to do so. And then 1 Sky Striker Mecha Hornet Drones. This card is super fun to play in this deck. I've always liked the synergy that it actually provided. Not only does it give me a token, but it basically gives me a free machine at the cost of absolutely nothing on the field. And it gives me an extra card in hand to use for whatever I may need. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. I have 1 Nova, 1 Cyber Dragon Infinity. The state of the game has gone so fast that in reality you only realistically need 1 and 1, and they become super accessible with cards like Nashter, or even not Hertz, Cyberload, Fusion, and goodies like that. Anyways, 1 Platinum Gadget, 1 Scrap Wyvern, 1 Seeger, 1 Union Carrier, 1 Almirage, 1 Kagari, 1 Phoenix. Everything went off camera. And 1 Borreload Dragon. So, in case you're wondering, yes, this is Nova and Infinity are the only Exceeds or rank monsters that I actually play. I made this deck focus a little bit more on link summoning rather than rank, or well, there's technically fusion focus as well. I know in the past I said Almirage really isn't a necessary card. The direction that this deck ended up taking made Almirage a little bit more necessary than what my past builds used to be. So it's more so Almirage is a nice option to have. Now, Phoenix is a card that I want to talk about specifically. Phoenix would be an Appaloosa. This deck can absolutely whip out Link 4s no problem. The only thing is I don't have an Appaloosa, and I'm not down to pay $120 for a copy of Appaloosa either. So it is a Nightmare Phoenix for back row removal. Nice option to have. Borreload Dragon. This is a going second deck. You can go first. Just know that your only means of control would be Infinities, Cybernetic Overflow, and ABC, which does facilitate a turnaround play because ABC does bring out 3 monsters back on the board. But Borreload Dragon, basically another way of trying to go for the kill, quote unquote, or even just stealing monsters or interrupting chain links as well. Sky Striker, Ace Kagari. I mean, I play Hornet Drones. This is my free machine, and it recurs Hornet Drones back to my hand, so yes. Union Carrier, self-explanatory, especially when you play a deck full of Union monsters. Seeger, self-explanatory. Scrap Wyvern, which also helps facilitate the link floor plays, especially with Scrap Recycler. And then Platinum Gadget, because Platinum Gadget. And now on to the actual fusions. For a deck that's not focused on fusions, there's actually just enough fusion monsters to say that there are fusion monsters in this deck. Anyways, your standard Chimera Techs, Fortress, and Mega Fleets. ABC, rest in peace, he's only at one Rampage, and then a Shaddoll Construct. And that's just about it. Like I said, I'm not gonna walk you through the side deck. Side deck could be anyone's personal opinions and what they want to have to added to their arsenal. This is a 45 deck build. Obviously, you can definitely cut down the cards in it. I just like some of the combos that a lot of these cards do facilitate. In each turn, it does pull out so many cards in one turn from the deck to either field, grave, or hand. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys like more videos like this, feel free to hit the like and subscribe. If you guys want to see some other content outside of what you see on YouTube, I do live stream on Twitch, link in the description below. We basically just kind of hang out, watch a bunch of duels, even have a bunch of duels, and talk about a bunch of cards. We even talk about a bunch of rulings. So if you have questions about card rulings, feel free to swing over to the Twitch channel, link in the description below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful one. Take care.